Mthwakazi ilizwe elihle, utwelisi busiso nobukhosi.
Salibonani Mthwakazi kaNdaba. Igama nguThulano kaNkala ku Mathebeleni Broadcasting Corporation. Namhlanje ke silethulela udaba olushisayo kakhulu. Dr Churchill Mpiyesizwe Guduza usethule ugwalo incwadi eshisa kakhulu esidale impikiswano esimangaliso kuma social platforms. Ugwalo lwakhe luthi the trials and the tribulations of a ZIPRA soldier. Lolu ugwalo akhuluma ngama experiences akhe as isotsha leZIPRA. Kodwa ke kulolu gwalo uyacubungula, uyahlaziya ukusebenza kweZAPU neZIPRA at a strategic and leadership level. Uyakuhlaba kakhulu ikakhulu uma sibhekisa ku Dr Joshua Nkomo. Uyakhombisa ukuthi kwaba namaphutha athize ikakhulu ekulweleni iZimbabwe instead of fighting for Mthwakazi. Ngokunjalo ke many people have come guns blazing. Kunobaba Mark Mbayiwa of ZAPU, current ZAPU manje. Ukhulume kakhulu ephikisana nalokhu okuphakanyiswa ubaba uChurchill Guduza. Yikho ke namhlanje ngizelethulela inkulumo mpikiswano ezethulwe yilaba bobabili. Ngizoqala ngokulethulela inkulumo kaBaba Mbayiwa, ngibe sengilethulela futhi inkulumo kaBaba uGuduza lapho ehlikiza inkulumo kaBaba Mbayiwa.
Normal person would do that.
Siyabonga kakhulu
But please, Mina, I don't agree personally that Nkomo sold anybody. Nkomo did not. Loko kukhulunywa iMLF lokho hayi uGuduza uzondile. uGuduza mina I know Guduza very well. I lived with Guduza, I trained with Guduza Nyamazi. uGuduza mina nxa ngumkhangela uyabona ifamily yabo Guduza worked with Nkomo, his father worked with Nkomo so closely. And I want to believe ukuthi out of that kwaba lama sour grapes during the process. The sour grapes which he spelled downwards as afike ebantwaneni ukuthi ama expectations abo abantwana after their father had worked with Nkomo was ABCD, but then that did not happen. This is why because it's not ndoda le ekhulumayo ngoJoshua ukuthi uJoshua wathengisa mayuyu. I don't want to agree with that. Ngiyamuzwa sibili ukuthi ukhuluma isizwe ubuhlungu olawo yiwo sobumenza acabanga ukuthi Nkomo wathengisa. Nkomo did not sell anybody. From the word go, let me start from Lancaster House. Lancaster House, Uzuma puts it very, very well and in a very simplistic manner. What caused Lancaster House? I've always said to you people, you must learn war so that you fight an easy war. It's good to know because militarily, I don't think that ubusocha uyabuzwisisa ukuthi ukuhamba njani. Right at that level akutsho khonokho. But the truth of the matter is Nkomo did not sell anybody. Uyabona nxa kuthiwa learn war and fight an easy war, all what it means is you must get to understand ukuthi kathesi istruggle eksesingaphi. lapho siyabe sesikhona. And nxa susibona sesikhona sesisiya towards the end engakufeviyo wena, what you need to do is to come up with something like Lancaster House. Amakhiwa did not call for Lancaster House from Norway. The white people had brought Australians, Aborigines, and name it, and everybody else. These people were going to contain ZIPRA as a force. But it became very difficult. It was difficult. There are series of battles that were fought. Dropping down those Viscount was not a joke. It's the armament, a level of armament that esasesilayo by that particular time. And Amakhiwa could tell ukuthi kathesi abantu laba nxa sebekwanisa ukuwisa indege beziwisela phansi, one besekhaya phakathi eriye lakho kufanana lakhonokho, they are getting stronger. Actually, ZIPRA was much more armed, more than the Zambian army, which was the host country. And that kept Zambia la isile fear ukuthi into enzakala kubo Lebanon liyana sasingayenza eZambia. Start of government. Nxa ukhawunde ngasafuni sifake umuntu esimfunayo oza protector ama interest ethu. But ikhangelanini lapha. Into yonke lesiyenzakele Amakhiwa, because they started the war, ukuthi impilo isisiya to a point ukuthi ZIPRA is likely to take over that country. Basebebiza Lancaster House. They pushed everybody to Lancaster House, including Umgabe. Umgabe phela yet not seen ukuthi thina were likely to take over the country because he was not a military man. Umgabe could not read that. But Amakhiwa, because they were in support of him, they then told him, when you are not winning that Lokuze, that war, ZIPRA will continue to assault at any given time. Uyakhumbula uGromingo, the longest serving minister Soviet Union, who went to Ilokuzeni iZambezi siyakhangela iZambezi sesisiyaphiwa amatanka ama-pantus lana across that Zambezi sesiya ku-final assault. And Amakhiwa stopped that because they knew ukuthi once they allow ZIPRA to take over the country, what is going to happen is South Africa as well. Nkomo was going to support South Africa Mthwakazi because sasihlala lapho silwa silapho. The next thing was that South Africa was going to ban. And there was one principle that the whites during the time of the Cold War, ukuthi Amakhiwa, they knew ukuthi once Zimbabwe goes, it's South Africa which will go. Yabona? So the Russians that were supporting us, labo, there is a certain level discussed lapana. Russians knew ukuthi we're not going to take over Zimbabwe at a later stage. Because the Americans were very much concerned ukuthi kuya negotiate at that level. Kuya negotiate ukuthi you have taken so many countries, lati saliyekela, lani siyekeleni, Rhodesia, no. And the Russians knew that. That's why Nkomo, when he came from Lancaster House, which was a forced matter, he then said, we have taken 4 steps backwards. Owayekhona ku-conference of the militants and AFC lapha entabeni, Nkomo addressed that all the frontal commanders, the commanders they were called into that place, and Nkomo said we have taken 4 steps backwards. And he tried his level best to kuti akhona ivela Tongokara. And this is why Tongokara was killed by Mugabe. Mugabe could not stand Tongokara as a vumelano noNkomo ukuthi let Nkomo become the first president of the country. It's all trials that were done. But let me then address into dissident liyana. Liyabona, impi nxa usuyi-understanda, you can see abantu abalwayo abangalwa bathi nxa besilwa belwe impi njengasoziye ndawo. Yabona, because Amakhiwa, having done that into Lancaster House, sebeyiqedile into Lancaster House leya, they planned forward ukuthi the best debate was to disarm ZIPRA. And if at all we had tried ukuthi silwe khonapana during that time, who was going to give us the supplies, empopo and the food stuff, a mover from Iriye? Which Iriye are we talking about? Because there was no Iriye any longer. Zambia had suffocated. Ukaunda had suffered because of us. Ukaunda had agreed. That's why Zume City, what is a Kulumile, chairperson? Am I talking the views of my friends, abangama presidents? What way now? Luana, what yes? Luana, what yes? Luana, what yes? Because the views of those presidents, they were told. Remember, all these people were being paid by Americans. Unyerere, despite of Ajaya, Kelea, Zamuta practice, it didn't mean anything. He was backed by the Americans. Actually, he was a spy from the American point of view. And they were part and parcel of that. So, abantu laba, they were leading these African leaders because ababesebenza labo. Bemtshengisa ukuthi khangela wena ulanto ozayenza la. Ekela thina siyenze lokho ezinto le iphele. This is why Nkomo agreed with that, and it is not true ukuthi Nkomo at any level wayelabantu i-commanders zakhe wayesebenza lazo wayengasavumelani lawo. Whoever says he advised Nkomo ngamanga la, because the commanders that were there, they were agreeing with what Umdala did. They were agreeing with him, in the exception of engxenye or rank and file at lower levels. Obviously, abantu abaku-lower level at times they tend to be so dangerous at times because babengazwisise ezinye izinto. I-level of military training phela it varies. Nxa ku-lower level you will understand things at that level, but you do not understand the international part of it. So Nkomo was right to agree to stop that war because into lena yayingasuze vele isebenze ukuthi kuliwe. Sasizalwa sivela ngaphi kanti? You can only fight when you've got a base. And nxa ungala base, then you have a problem. And the Russians were not going to be prepared ukuthi basincede, babezasinceda from where? So madoda nxa likhuluma some of these things, you must think twice ukuthi likhuluma ngani. Lingathathi i-leadership eyabe involved into issues like Nkomo was involved into those issues. Labo mafela banaba. They never, not even one of them, would disagree with Nkomo. But disagreeing at times, kasilweni. Umuntu is free to do that. But ulwanjani, how do you fight? How do you fight? Because amakhiwa the babes asiyekela baclose uZambezi area. Kungabile anything that comes in. And any man who thinks that can fight a war without a logistical backup, then you are just dreaming. This is why kulama frontline soldiers and kulama rear soldiers who are going to provide services, to provide the food and everything else. So that thing was no longer there. And the whole world, the whole Western countries were going to fight ZIPRA. And where were we going to stand? No way. And Nkomo saved impilo zabantu abaningi. Right. Labana abantu ababe yaleli kungena city ababizwa kuthiwa ngama-dissident. Uyabona, in any war that can be fought, what happens at the end of the day? Ama-guerrilla vele abanye bagcwala iganga. Bengazwisisi ukuthi why should you stop that war? Including abantu bezanu. Lingakhohlwa abantu bezanu, izanu yet more dissident than ZIPRA. But because bona they were in the ruling party, izanu did not pronounce their being dissident. Bathulela as if ama-dissident ku other side kuphela. Because Mugabe was keen to make sure ukuthi into lokho okungapha konke ukuthiwa yilokho kaNkomo lokho qedelana lakho. That's what he wanted. And he wanted to put sponsored by the Western world to destroy that. But they had more people. Abayasala egangeni babengama-dissident, babesala ukungena ekhala. Baba Tata from the bush, Baba address. I know a lot of people, ababanjwayo, like Umpofe Kuluma Babanje Cholo Cholapan, Ababe kungena ekhala. Kacha sabanye bakhona abasebengama generals in the army. Some of them they are brigadier generals, abanye bakhona abangama major general. That's what happened. They are there now. Ungakhuluma naye, he will tell you bakhona bayilokho esibabiza sithi dizora sesidlala, because why he will tell you ukuthi babengazwanga ilizwi lokuthi sokusiyatochwa impi. It's not everybody who had heard that, and some people were keen to continue fighting, but fighting for what when things were like that? Nkomo had the right to say hayi bantu bami impi inde iyaphambili. We have been cheated. This is why he said we have taken 4 steps backwards. What he meant ukuthi sesiphumile lapha kade sikhona sabuyele emuva, because amakhiwa having started the war but decide ukuthi all right, la bantu now they are going to be able to do this, let's stop them and put them on the round table. Yabona, so basifaka ku round table. Lakathesi we are moving forward as a political party. You will be surprised ukuthi as we move forward iparty sisiba much more stronger. But izani zalibiza ithi manje kuyena ihlaleli phansi sikhulumeni, and you can't say no.
You're right to reply. Umlisa lo khulumayo lo uthi uyangazi akazi isho ukuthi ngubani. You may as well be, ungokabalala lokho kwe CIO. Akathi ukuthi ungazi njani. yena engubani engakhuluma into angazaziyo njalo engabuyi ngemilitary theory ayibalileyo angazi ukuthi uyibale ngaphi lapha ahlala khona kumbe uyizwa emoyeni. Impi you don't go to war and then you abandon your objectives. First and foremost kufanele azi engafanani labantu abaningi abayempini bengazi ukuthi bayadingana empini. Akatsho ukuthi iconstitution yeZAPU yayisithini wayibona wayibala. All those people laid down their lives. What did they lay down their lives for? That is a fundamental question. A fundamental question that this guy, whoever he is, he may be a fake or whatever, nguGuduza okhulumayo atsho ukuthi why abantu baya empini engabuyi ngama theories kwakhe lokho ungalangqondo ongasebenziyo. To say ukuthi ama-Americans ama-British obani bonke laba abaqamba because of that then ZAPU had to surrender. Why did it go to the war? Babengekho ama-Americans ngaleso sikhathi mabe siyempini. ZAPU ma decide ukuthatha isikhali balwe babelwelana ZAPU yayilwelana baphonguvela nje la abantu okuthiwa ngama-Americans ama-British all these powers la akhuluma ngawo bavela kuyukuthi all along babengekho. Ukhuluma ngeLancaster ukhuluma ama-commanders akabali ukuthi yiwapha ama-commanders. Lama commanders ababuyayo lapha eLancaster House ukuthi babezolandana ngaphandle kozonathi whiskey ngoba lokho akukhulumayo ngudoti ukhuluma udoti lo muntu lo akazwakali ukuthi uthini. ZIPRA mayisifike ekhaya kuzaba le Lancaster ZIPRA yayivele isiwinile impi. All rural hinterlands, they either liberated or semi-liberated. So there was no need for Zambia or for any other real Kulmangai, and we were never supplied by foodstuffs from Zambia. Udla wethu food security was ensured by izakhamuzi. So akalwanga lo muntu akathi ukuthi walwanga. Azange sibuye sithele ukudla sivele eZambia thina. Ukudla sasekuphiwa izakhamuzi ngama veteran ngoba balwa yibo abantu who faced the brunt of the war. So ZAPU ma isilethe ZIPRA yangena ekhaya bangena ngayo yonke military armory. Yonke military armory eyadisanywa Nkomo ehamba lo Chiwenga. Ngaleso sikhathi wazwa ukuthiwa nguBrigadier Chinenge uDominic, the current vice president weZimbabwe. Nkomo wayehamba laye bengu2 enkambeni yeZAPU iGwai River Mines eDethe le Crossroad. Bekulama tanks kulama armored personnel carriers kula every kind of military armory. Abantu abaletha phansi i-viscount akabazi lokuthi ngobani. Thina koGuduza ethi contribution we about 90 abantu abayempini 90 wabo 90 bona ngakubo babe bangaki abantu abayempini njalo balwa ngoba i-viscount yalethwa phansi ngoSpikiri Nyembezi uMtaka Antoine wayevele esempini engatraina la eAngola. Yena watraina ngaphi lumlisa lo? right inkomo mayeza abuya ekwazi konke khona lokho akukhulumayo wayengasitsheli ukuthi hayi sesibeka phansi zonke izinto ngokuthi siyesaba ama-Americans siyesaba ama-British kanti besilwa lobani i-Rhodesian military ibivele ifandwa ngobani bingafandwa by those very powers akhuluma ngazo ukuthi abantu mase bengenile ekhaya bengene ngakho konkhona lokho ekwazi unkomo ekwazi ukuthi izanu ile brigade le eyabekwa eceleni ngapha engahambi lo Dabengwa engahambi lo Masuku engahambi la any other military commander kumbe uAkim Mdlovu enkambeni yeZAPU ehamba lo muntu wezanu ezodisarma iZIPRA unkomo ayikhona omunye umuntu unkomo because the problem yabakhona ukuthi unkomo was built into some kind of god-like figure such that he could not even be challenged by his own commanders. Mayeza khuluma ngabantu abafana labo Jeva naMaseko ukuthi why did I disarm uJeva naMaseko uChangani chief of military operations what immediately after impi iphela waba i-ambassador ekamgabe eMoscow who actually changed the relationship eyayikhona between ZAPU and by extension ZIPRA lani lama Russia in favor of Umkani. The very same person who was in charge in deploying, ZIPRA ekhaya. Young people, we're talking about young people, besibancane ngaleso sikhathi. Becrosser besiya ngaphi elokhuzeni ekhaya besiya kulo. Evalile amakhiwa yena la akhuluma ngawo. Khuluma ama-Aborigines. Ama-Australians akusiyo ama-Aborigines ama-Aborigines akhuluma ngazo ukuthi ukhuluma ngawaphi of course ama-mercenaries ayemaningi laphana ekhaya but sasingena phakathi ekhaya siwachaya kunjalo and we drove them back le Kavira forest leyana ikhempe yalaphana kuZambezi we destroyed it benjalo besupportwa ngama-South Africans besupportwa yiyo yonke into. We prevailed as ZIPRA singala command structure inside the country. Akamkhulumi ucommander oyi-1 obeku high command owacrossa umfula ukuthi nguZambezi ukuthi ngubani. Other than ukuthi babezidlalela lusaka behluleka lokudefender abantu bakithi. Kuzo zonke inkamba from FC, Omkushi, Osolwezi, even lena Mpundu. Amakhiwa bechaya bebulala abantu behleli today they are generals they are brigadiers and so forth ama-ranks abaphiwa yizanu ama-ranks lawa baphiwa yizanu kuyukuthi izanu ibapha ngapha ibulala osisi babo dadewabo barepa ichisa imizi senzani ngubani kanti umdlisa lo ukhuluma ukuphongikhuluma udoti nje uzakhuluma ye-MLF i-MLF stands there to liberate, abantu, abakithi, abakomthwakazi. You will know ukuthi sisilwa sasilela into engekho into okuthiwa imirage okuthiwa iZimbabwe. What does it mean to him? Lo melele hamba kutshoni ukuthi Zimbabwe. Why? Because unkomo was duped by amashona lana akhuluma ngawo who constituted 95% of the national executive ZAPU. Babengaphi kanti abantu bakithi abesintwini whether ngamaTonga ngamavenda ngamaNdebele ngamakhalanga ngabeSuthu ababe ku national executive babenga the policy makers, the decision makers, people who took a decision to disarm ZIPRA kwakungamashona. No wonder uNkomo sebefuna ukumbulala abantwana bomfazi babuyela kubo ngoba bengamashona akula nje leshona eli1 elali ku ZAPU elali ku National Executive elabotshwayo kumbe labalekayo elizweni ungakhuluma ngomsika then Secretary General umnota wafa chairperson weZAPU ujirira ophethe treasury ngapha ubuye ku army besilo Ambrose Mtiniri uchief of staff baya ngapha abantu bonke bona labo and where was he uNkomo yena lundoda lo okhulumayo ukhuluma udodi manje sebefuna umbulala siplan escape kaNkomo uyakhuluma ngokuthi uGuduza kungaba khona into owayisolayo ini I was the only one who helped a plan escape kaNkomo. Where was he? Mina lo ubaba wami was just a civilian umuntu waphuma empini ejele. He spent 18 years. He was actually the longest serving political prisoner eRhodesia lapha nuka from 1962 until 1980. uNkomo bahlala 10 years labo mka yena wakubaba wayenga abantu labo kuthiwa ngomafikizolo abangena empini bengazi lokuthi impi yini lokuthi balandeni azani kumbe babesiya ngaphi babesiye partyini kwangasiyo party impi kwafa abantu basala abafowethu abanye lakathesi siyababona beflasha la lomulele uyazi ukuthi abalalanga abantu labantu ngoba baphi poison kuthiwa kuleli socialism umkhuba wembuzi why kwangaleli Mthwakazi why kwangaleli ukuthi abantu bebuyele ezweni elathathwa ngamakhiwa ngamangisi and so forth. So uNkomo didn't actually understand. He was following a program yamashona. Hence once they knew ukuthi now they built uNkomo into something liyana eba uNkulunkulu ukuthi ay challenge. Now they had no reason of sticking around with uNkomo. ZANU was formed on that basis. Now they knew what everybody was going to fight for something called into Zimbabwe. Hence, usiba lento is ZANU, is Zimbabwe African National Union. You must distinguish between national.
In the land between Limpopo and Zambezi there is a nation. In the land between Ramakwebana and Sanyati there is a nation. A nation which has never tasted freedom since 1980. A nation with sons and daughters who gallantly fought for freedom they never enjoyed.